issues. Does seem being a little bit, floppy or nonsensical. Um, but look, he'll probably, maybe, hopefully run again.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, because I think he could be a really, really interesting person to have in Congress. I would be so excited. Instead, we're just going to get the regulars.
Regular.
No, I think they're going to see him come back. I'm hoping.
I hope so.
I think he also did that for his sister.
I think if you're going to run, this is just my read, Scotty, you're way closer to this. It would seem, though, that Democratic primary 2026, if you are win, you really have to bring something special. You have to stake out a position of policy. I mean, and I think we're in an environment where at least in the Democratic Party,
only dolls to kids.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
You're breaking up.
What's that like to distinguish himself?
I couldn't hear you.
Really?
No, I couldn't hear you. I don't know if
Back up like 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
I want to hear what you have to say, though. I'm sorry.
What do you think? I think so.
Your Wi-Fi and 5G data or whatever is competing. Or Bluetooth.
Tao can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Tao can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameless. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is us. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. Set measure to each other, voice and sound harmonize each other, back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teaching without talking. He delays nothing to the teeming things. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task, but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. treats all things as straw dogs. The sainted, not sentimental. He treats all his people as straw dogs. Between heaven and earth, there seems to be a bellows. It is empty, and yet it is inexhaustible. The more it works.
Albino kids. Albino
Hi,
kids.
excuse me, but I got a question. How does BEMA respond to the accusations of being labeled a Karen?
I'm not a Karen because I wouldn't ever force a company to do something, and I wouldn't legislate a company to do something, but it's just free market feedback. You guys are weird.
I don't know. I think
I think it's weird that on Clubhouse people say that's weird when they got no real evidence to support the conversation. That's what's weird.
I mean, if I were white, because I'm not white, right? I'm just part ancestry. I'm not white, so I don't feel a connection to it.
Are you
I don't
yellow?
want to be.
Are you brown?
I'm black. But it's
You're
like,
you're
I don't feel a
black?
connection to it. So it's like because of
I don't
because I'm
believe
not
you.
white, I don't feel a connection
I don't
to
believe
it.
you. You don't sound black.
I'm definitely not black.
Well, you just said you're black and you're not white.
I did say I'm not white.
Then what are you?
I don't know.
Are you a man?
I hope so.
Great. What's your point?
Well, my point is that if I'm white, from that perspective, I can understand where Beaver and things is coming from because, like, if I were to grow up as, and I'm just gonna be honest, like unbiased, if I grow up as a white man, and you get told, like since history, that like you're the enemy, in every history book you're the villain, you're always seen as a bad guy, you're never seen as a good person. You know, every time you hear about how white people do so much crime against humanity in every faction of life, and then now you start to see these places where you start to see people spam, racist things to white people that would be racist if it were in reverse. If you go on the internet, you see people say things like, well, white men have this XYZ problem, or white men make me uncomfortable, or white. But if the roles were reversed, that person would be canceled. And I can understand the feeling on that side. That if I'm white and I'm seeing all this pushback for being white, I'm going to feel offended, of course.
And do you feel like other white people have to almost make up for that? Like, to think that they have to make up for that?
And that point too, right? And that's the point too, where like other white people would tell you, like, who you are as a person, like you need to always be sorry, you have to apologize about being white, And I get that point. But I also get Beamer's point too, where it's like, from her perspective, it's like, okay, we have minorities who have these issues, and you have the white majority, and then you have the supremacy issue, and then you have the historical context. But then Beaver's point is also correct, where it's like, if Asian people can create their own things, whatever, if black people can create their own black-owned products, why is it wrong for white people to do the same thing too? And get that. And so I don't think no side is.
It's because white people don't have black hair. It's all about black female hair in the beauty industry, D.
Right. So hold on. I get where people like. What did I disagree with people is maybe the kid. I don't think a young kid is really thinking in a racialized lens. So maybe it's a little bit too far for me, but I don't see evil intent in Bima, but I do see the pushback. So Bima, if you're gonna say it, you're gonna get a lot of pushback for it because there is a lot of. I do see the like.
Yeah, no one's accusing Bima of evil intent. When we say Karen, we just mean someone who sounds annoying. It doesn't mean they're evil. They just sound annoying. And so, naturally, because this is an audio conference call out, when somebody sounds like an annoying woman, we just say that's a Karen. But we all know Bima has a heart of gold. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here entertaining what she has to say. That's the truth.
When she told the story, she read both of the letters to me. I said, okay, the doll is not other children. The doll is one specific child. And not knowing that immediately triggered her to immediately write a letter and say, hey, you need to have more diversity within the toys that you make. And this is...
I didn't know that it was one. I didn't know that it was one because they're all different things.
But that's exactly what I'm telling you, is that you made a conscious decision to think racially instead of just thinking that this was just one toy or this was company's logo or mascot. You didn't think that. The
Well, of
first thing
course,
you
they're
thought
all
was racial.
different.
Okay,
Well,
that's
because
my
they're all
issue.
different.
That's
Yeah,
my issue.
because they're right, because they're all different.
Okay.
Except they're all the same race. We make foreign policy.
Can you stop interrupting me? I'm trying to get the point across that we need to start capital executions of all the people on.
Any one of us wants to just start interrupting, I'm just gonna move to the goo without warning. This is my first and last warning of
We're
this.
talking about.
Okay?
And you're somehow trying to sweep that under the rug because you're like, oh, I'm just giving them some feedback about their doll. Like, hello, I'm being a good customer. Like, no, that's called being annoying, and it was unnecessary.
You're in the Matrix, Clyde.
I think Beamer's woke, man. She the wokest person on this goddamn stage.
Well, she's dating a guy that looks just like you, Timothy. He drives a truck. It's her love. It's her
You know
lover.
what they say about woke people? They don't get enough sleep to think clearly.
Thanks, you are black, man. I'm sorry,
See,
what the hell?
Bima's a good
Like, what the hell?
person,
No
and
way.
it's
You're
not
not-
just
you're
the way
not
she
your
sounds, it's also what she says, which is annoying. But see, the thing that you guys don't realize is that I record her and put her on YouTube, and I just consider it the Bima show. I don't judge what she says. I don't.
Nobody's voting for you.
Well, nobody's voting for you either. And who made you Green Bean God? But the point is, it's the Bima show. Take it away, Bima.
Thanks, John. Yeah, so I just disagree with what your idea is, Faith. I didn't. When you look at our children and you want everybody to feel included. I didn't invent race, okay? Like that wasn't something that,
Of course.
right? By noticing it, okay? So when you look at things like race and then representation, these are things that are part of how
How
society
can be
functions.
talked about, but not the eternal time. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth in his name, as the mother of all things, it is named. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teaching without talking. He negates nothing to the teeming things. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. By not exalting the talented, you will cause the people to cease from rivalry exist forever. I do not know whose child it is. It seems to be the
It was a
common
request. It wasn't a demand.
This day and age, people get canceled for this sort of that type of stuff. So when you lead by that rhetoric, it can make other people think, oh, well, you got something racial going on here. People get canceled for stuff.
That's the free market. I'm sorry,
No,
you don't like
no,
it.
that's
No,
people like
exactly.
you like to cancel people for even the most minorest things.
Absolutely. If you're listen, for that is the free market. And what you're saying, people like me, what I believe is that people get to make their decisions as individuals, and they get to put their right. Exactly. So what's the problem with that?
The problem with this is that the problem with it is that you used it, and now you're using this sort of free market thing as an excuse as to just harass anyone you feel as though is doing something racial with their
That's
team.
not harassment, brother.
Again, you're using the word harassment because
They
you
could take it
don't
as
have a better
harassment. It's not
argument.
harassment, but they could take it as
You don't have a better argument, thanks. You're just.
Thank God you told me the letter, because when you read that letter that they sent back to you, they sounded very nice, and they had to educate you real fast before they think, oh,
My
this
letter
person can
didn't
cancel
sound.
us.
My letter didn't sound horrible.
It didn't.
Even if it did, though, even if it did, these companies ask for feedback all the time. So just because their feedback wasn't positive feedback, that doesn't mean that it's harassment.
So can I go to an Asian store and tell them that they need to start selling more
If you're a
SPF?
company and you do whatever, if you make some food, whatever you do, I'm pretty sure you want to hear back from your customers, the community, X, Y, and Z.
Not really.
Okay.
And I've worked in a couple of businesses before. The majority of those letters that you saw, quote unquote, they're mostly complaints. They're mostly demands. So just because this one was maybe somewhat
When we all go to a store,
counterproductive,
then they print your receipt, and on that receipt it asks for you to do a survey, or when they ask for feedback, that's
serve
not
what the supermarket that you get the stuff from.
for anything. I mean,
No, they mostly ask you to donate an extra $1 for some sort of charity. I don't know what feedback survey they're giving you.
No, he's talking about is just normal companies. Regular companies are constantly trying to improve their
towels can be talked about, but not the eternal time. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameless. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teeth.
Hey Matthew, have you thought about coming up with a line of dolls to accompany your perfumes, Matthew?
Without talking, hidden is nothing to the teeming thing. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are poems to them.
there's two potential outcomes that could have happened when I wrote this letter. One, they completely ignored it and they don't give a shit. Two, they say, oh, do you know what? I've actually gotten this same exact email however many times. Let's put this in a file and let's start to reflect this throughout our business practice, the initiation business practice. And then you laugh like because that's exactly how things, that's exactly how this type of shit works.
Yeah, but if you go to business economics, like you were just talking about business economics, you would know that if you were creating a certain product for everyone, then obviously the inclusion would be there. But if it's just a specific character like Chucky or some sort of other character, then they're going to only make those versions of it, especially if it's some sort of popular doll. So that's why I said that you wasted those energies to go out your way to complain about something that's unnecessary.
You keep referring back to and you're trying to backtrack. I told you and I explained that we both, I learned that it was one character in their email to me. I didn't know that it was
That's not
one.
wrong. That's just called karma because you wasted your time.
That's not called karma. Vince, I'm sorry that you have such a sad outlook on society. You don't trust yourself and you feel like you have no responsibility over what comes. This is what
It's not that serious. It's not that serious. A race war is not going to start because of a doll.
I feel like I'm not saying that a race was supposed to start. I'm asking you what are the consequences of what my message and what my email could have done to the company and what it could potentially be versus it being completely ignored.
I have to agree with Bima here. I think Bima is doing the Lord's work and really letting her intuition and willpower manifest into actual political change on the ground. I salute you, Bima. And don't let the haters hate. You're not just a Karen. You might be more than a Karen. Who knows? We don't know everything about you, do we, sweetheart? God bless you, Bima.
On the board and the head of the CEO making decisions.
I would like my
That same company that made the Aunt Jemima maple syrup and said, hey, you you know what you should do? You should put a white lady instead of a black lady on there, just to create more diversity. You know, more people can buy this, and, feel included buying your syrup because there's more, people on there instead of just a black lady. How do you think that would make me look today?
Well, you know what? The funny thing is, Angela, she's like the first millionaire black person.
It's just crazy that you have to feel. It's just crazy that you have to identify and feel and almost, have the same thing in your body. Like it's really strange.
Yeah, you know what's funny is,
And we don't keep that magic with anybody else. Like with anything else.
Matthew, could you maybe make me a perfume called Aunt Jemima's perfume? I'd like to buy that from you, Matthew.
Carmelo Anthony ever right back to you? Did you guys know that like the very first female millionaire in the United States was a black lady? I just learned about this recently. But you need to account for this answer.
Matthew, do you like Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Maire?
The man an explanation. Read the letter. Did you include a pair of your underwear? That's disgusting. I don't know, that's funny. Being cool is easy. You just tease me. You have a really good heart, but you're running a fucking teenager in general.
Oh, this is America, where the Karens live.
Anyways, I was just watching a travel show of this fucking, what is it, Kigali City in Rwanda. The place looks fucking amazing.
Matthew, can you make me a perfume called Kingali City? I'd like to buy it from you tonight.
Yeah, it's apparently like the safest, cleanest city in the world. It's fucking looks very cool. It's beautiful.
Matthew, do you have a beret? Because I'd like to send you a beret, Matthew. I think you'd look very handsome walking around Kigali City in a beret. And I would like for you to clone Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Mail for me. Thank you, Matthew.
Jean-Paul Gaultier, the designer?
The perfume, Lamau. It's a famous formula. I actually know it. I've memorized it. Hello, Thunder. Would you like to speak? Or Edward? Why did you sigh just a second ago? So D, you've been there? You've been to Kigali? Wait, I asked the questions. Don't interrupt. No, Beaver, but...
John, Kitover is annoying me.
Someone asked me a question, right? Beaver. Yeah,
I'd like to ask when Bima, and did you make the letter?
Carmelo Anthony's not gonna get it done, y'all. That's not gonna get it done, y'all. Alright, we need to get provocative.
It was recent. It might not have even gotten to him.
Delete it, write another letter saying, I'm very sorry, thank you for your time.
Dear Carmelo, I pray to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, every day for the capital punishment execution program with the United States government to be reinstituted to rid ourselves from human pieces of shit like you forever. God bless in the name of our Lord, Father, Jesus Christ, amen.
Please don't talk about this. Please don't talk about this. It's too upsetting.
Hey man, you kill, you kill. If you kill, go to jail. Go home.
Can you maybe create me a perfume called,
No, not
you know,
everybody that kills goes to jail, thanks.
what did Carmelo say before he stabbed him in the chest? He's like, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, not everybody that defends himself gets a walk.
Was Carmelo
Go
defending
home.
himself?
Facts, absolutely.
He was defending himself. It was
110%.
100%. 110%.
What do you mean how?
Did the person out? What was the other person's weapon?
It doesn't matter.
I think it does.
Okay, well we could just, what about the last?
This isn't West Side Story. Everybody doesn't have to have a
In a
knife.
parking lot. He didn't have no weapon, he was just walking.
I want to dedicate this next flute song to Carmelo for you all.
Yeah, but my point is if they walk, they get to go home and they get to walk home.
Yeah, but just because somebody walks up to you and says, hey, you can't be here, doesn't give you the right to just stab somebody. Sorry.
Of course not. Yeah, but that's not what happened, is it?
No, that wasn't the case.
No, sorry, Fangs. That's not what happened.
It
What
wasn't.
happened?
Hands on him.
And so he got stabbed.
The Holy Spirit came down from outer space in heaven, took a knife and punched it into his chest. It wasn't him. It wasn't Carmelo.
Even people over here in New Jersey.
Sweet, beautiful baby boy Carmelo would never do such a thing.
Yeah, I almost went to jail for something like that. Just because someone puts their hands on you to try to maybe push you out the way or something like that, that doesn't mean you get to now use extreme violence against them. Maybe if you pushed them and got into a scuffle, that'd be a different story. You stabbing somebody is not the answer or a response to someone just touching you. If it is, then the majority of us will be dead. And majority of us will be in prison if that was really the case.
Yeah, you said context matters, things.
Yeah, the context does matter. Don't stab somebody just because they put their hands on you.
Listen, don't threaten and then intimidate and then initiate violent aggression upon a peaceful person who's sitting here who has no responsibility to calibrate his defense in response to protect his assaulter, okay? Austin Metcalf, listen, Austin Metcalf is the criminal. He's the first mover. He's the first criminal.
Charges.
Well, he didn't get it because he's dead.
Okay, what would his charges be? My question to you is
It would have been a assault, a misdemeanor. You could look it up in the
first of two assaults, but you have to give a description of the assault. What was the assault?
his attack on him.
Okay, give me the description of the assault. Did he punch him? Did he smack him?
Yeah, he moved, he threatened him, and then he moved, he
No,
said he was
that's
gonna
not-
move him, and then he grabbed him. Yeah, he did.
That's
He
not
grabbed him and he
assault.
touched him. Well, you need to look at the law.
That's
because it
threatening
actually
and
is.
intimidation at its
No,
finest.
it's
That's not
As
assault.
soon as you move, and all of the testimony proves this, right? They talk about the type of initiation of force that Austin Metcalf used, and in the least, it could be a class C misdemeanor. I have to grab it, or it could be even as something. Here, let me grab it. But there's
Right.
two.
Yeah,
Right.
because
So
in this
it doesn't
scene,
matter. And
we see
either way, it was a crime.
Yeah, either way, he deserves to get killed for it. That's what you're saying.
I would say that no, that's not what we're litigating. We weren't
But you're
litigating
litigating
whether
that you
someone
must.
deserves.
No. Listen to what
That's
you're
not
saying. You're
what the
justifying it.
litigation was.
Yes, you are, because you just justified it. You're saying, oh, if you don't do that, then you won't get stabbed.
Well, no, we're saying that somebody doesn't have the authority. You don't have the moral authority. Hold on. You don't have the moral authority to force me, okay, to calibrate your defense, to calibrate your protection when you're assaulting me. If you're going to come after me, I have the own things that are going on in my own life, right? I may have just had a shoulder surgery a couple months earlier that I can't just get into, what is it called, a fisticuff scuffle. It's going to, you could permanently injure my entire arm, and then my entire future for whatever it is could be at risk. You're putting my life at risk by even starting to want to initiate aggression upon me. I also may have epilepsy, where, because we understand that epilepsy affects the prefrontal cortex. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Just let me finish. I could have, because guess what? Both of these things were in the case of Carmelo Anthony. Okay, you could actually trigger a seizure that could be deadly. He had no moral obligation to protect his defender or to protect his assaulter. If you're going to initiate aggression, okay, he did not murder that boy.
He does his work, but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task, but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it. Nobody can ever take him.
If you're innocent, you have to be punished, unfortunately. Right. You have to do something wrong to get to talk. What I'm saying is that
Even in the video, he went up to him first and he said, "Hey, you don't belong here. Can you please go over there?" And my teacher assigned him to tell other people that didn't belong in that nook that they couldn't be there. He said, "Hey man, you couldn't be there." He even tried to be polite at first with his body language in the beginning of the video. If you watch the video, he was coming up politely with his body language. Then when he didn't listen, he tried to push him gently into the
Another student comes and tells you what to do. That's exactly why students don't have any type of authority. No.
My school had hall monitors. You would have
In this way, he will cause the people to remain without knowledge and without desire.
One student telling another student what to do.
That's their job to do as another teacher assigned them.
They can say things to them. They can say things. Austin could have went up to him and talked to him for hours, right? But the problem was when Austin decided to initiate violent force.
He tried to push him out of the door. He got stabbed. That is a responsible reaction to getting shoved out of a nook. You're not supposed to be getting stabbed.
I'm not saying that it was responsible.
But you're saying that he's innocent.
I'm not saying that it was stupid. I'm saying I think there was a lot of it. I think that it was. I think that there are a lot of things that could have been done differently. But do I think that he should be guilty of murder? Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that it's rare. He didn't. There was no intention. He didn't know the kid before. He had no relationship with the kid. The kid came up to him, started to use violent force. He was, even in the moment that he did stab him, he was even looked at the type of stab, the lateral stab, and how when it was a defensive, it wasn't an offense, it wasn't, yes. Okay, do you know how the stab, do you know what the stab
Stabbed, he was retreating. He was holding his stab wound bleeding.
After he said he was able to get away.
I can agree.
Just
Stabbed him a second time. It was one stab from Carmelo. Carmelo was away.
Because in the beginning, I felt the same way as you. Let's assume that Carmelo Anthony was in self-defense and he killed him, right? To say that he's innocent is a little too far-fetched. It wouldn't come down to me, right? If it's a punch, if it's a push, I have the decision. Either I can run away. If I can't run away, I can tell someone. If I know these people are bullies, I can be a snitch. But these days in our community, snitching and doing the right thing is not seen as cool. We like to get our money back. If that were me, there's different alternatives to cut out and that. I don't think that Carmelo's Anthony's life was in danger to kill that man. I don't think he warranted a death. I don't think so. It's called, to say that he didn't make himself. I get it. Like you're saying, he's defending himself. I don't think he's defending his life.
done or got in trouble?
Pepper spray has been Anthony had pepper spray. I've heard, okay, yeah, he's touching me. When you stab him, take this little kid's life. Because he's telling you he's
This is an argument. I will give more other points to the left. The only argument the left have for this debate is the systematic unfairness when it comes to the number of years and how they persecuted Carmelo Anthony. They can go based on, okay, well, a white guy, he got less crime for doing a rape or a murder. I can understand that debate. But to say that Carmelo was doing something out of, saving his life or doing a justice thing, let's go with that, right? Imagine that Carmelo Anthony doesn't get in trouble. What message does it send to America? Okay, if anybody pushes you, if you're black or any other minority, you just kill somebody and you're fine.
That's
That's what you're conveying. That's what you're conveying.
Hold on. That's because people don't understand what the law is and what it's supposed to do and the litigation, right? That's not what it's conveying. We already have laws on that say you can't hurt people, you can't kill people, you can't do these things. What the litigation is saying whether you're guilty or not of those laws that already exist. We already have those moral standards. It's not saying that you can go and what it's saying is with those very specific circumstances, in that very specific case, in that time and that day, and that moment and that location, with those two very specific people, did they meet the criteria of this or that? That's what that's saying. There's nothing else. There's no legal
But Bima, it's like you're making Carmelo Anthony out into a hero. He's a murderer. He stabbed someone and killed someone and took someone's life. He's not a hero. You're making him out into a hero. He's not a hero. He made a bad decision. How dare you? How dare you?
And that's all it was. It was just a bad decision from young kids to do dumb things. He had a knife on him. He didn't know how to react in the situation. Didn't know what to do. He reacted in fury and impulse. But not justifying something that happened off of impulse. People do stupid shit like that. And if you're gonna justify the stupid shit, then everyone else is gonna start doing it. And everyone's gonna start seeing the problem.
Again, it's not justification.
Yes, you are.
It's with this.
Just say that, okay, he did something dumb and now he's in prison. You wanna argue the prison time? Let's argue the prison time. Justice.
He didn't murder anybody. There's no murder involved. Somebody died for bad decisions.
He's a child. He's a minor on school grounds. What are you talking about, people?
Doesn't matter.
You want to let it to everybody but the people that were smoothly involved with it.
That's crazy. To tell you the truth, I believe in altercations. That's what I could have killed someone.
Yes. Even in Jersey, the stand your ground laws are very specific. Yes, you can have a firearm, but you need to have it in a specific place. Yes, you can shoot someone, but only if they threaten you with a weapon. Like there's certain things you just can't do.
I get the situation. Like, it was like,
You can't stick a knife in someone else's chest, right? I'm pretty sure that's illegal, correct? If you're in a tent and somebody's like, hey man, you gotta get out of here, you can't be in here. You can't just like pull a knife out and stick it in somebody's chest, right? Hello?
in this case, I don't think that was going after Carmelo Anthony. The black boy is Carmelo Anthony. I don't think the evil intent, like the bully, the quote-unquote bully, is that high, that warrants convicting. I think that should be the guy that was.
Austin Metcalf.
He deserved to get killed. I don't think it was to that level.
It's not about a deserve, right? That's also not what we're litigating. Nobody deserves to be killed, okay? That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, in this particular case, is Carmelo Anthony, that's what's being litigated. You understand that the prosecution, he's the defense. It is up to the state, the prosecution, to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed murder with this criteria, this mens rea. And if you look at it, it just doesn't meet it. You could say that because you have no, come up with a better argument instead of just like.
Well, How about this? Let's say I'm at a convenience store. Wait, moderator, let me give you an example. I'm at a liquor store. Moderator. Let me give you a good example. Let's say, moderator. Hello, Bima, Earth to Bima. Let's say I'm at a liquor store and I'm a little intoxicated, okay, and I've been drinking a little bit all day long. And I go to the cash register and I got a box of iced tea vodkas and I don't have the money. And the cashier says, "Sir, if you don't have the money, you're gonna have to leave." And I'm like, "What the fuck did you say to me?" And then the cashier's like, "You gotta leave, sir, if you don't have the money to pay for all this iced tea vodka." And then he he kind of intimidates me a little bit. So I pull a knife out and I stick him in the chest and I kill him. But I'm black and he's white. And he's a college student and I'm a college student. And so the point is, sticking knives in people's chests, that's illegal. And if you don't know that, you are fucking retarded. I am convinced.
Yeah, and exactly, what he did was he totally just made a non-comparison, changing who an aggressor is. He actually created an aggressor. Alistair created the aggressor, and he made the argument he's making a argument for that. I would agree if somebody stabs somebody else because they're unhappy with somebody else. You have to have the initiation of violence force. It has to be self-defense.
Can't say the word R word on TikTok. The R word is illegal.
Stab a child if you're sick. You have to make the same argument. So a child stabbed a child. So then why would you? So if it's a child, is that mentality? Is it right? Oh, but now he's no longer a child. Is he an adult or a child?
He's a student. He's 17.
So then why are you making
technically he's a minor.
And so do you see how you use an appeal to emotion? This is bandwagon appeal. This is a logical fallacy, right? You're trying to look, when you're referring to Austin Metcalf, the 6'1", 200-something-pound dude, right? All of a sudden he's a child, and then Carmelo Anthony is what? A criminal.
Yes, 17.
Point me.
You just said
another insult.
I have a question. No, seriously, this is good. I have a question. What should happen to Carmelo Anthony? What do you think would be better?
What I think would be better is Carmelo Anthony should be able to walk away from this situation.
Exactly. Free. He didn't do nothing wrong.
Where other people who have used self-defense to defend themselves, you think that his life is going to be lollipops and gumdrops raining down? He's killed somebody. Even if he walks away from this, his life is permanently changed. His mentality, the things that he has to live with, the things that he has to make up, this is going to be a lifetime journey of war on him, by in and of itself. That's why when you make a decision like this, please, this is why this isn't the commonplace action.
Yeah, but see, Bima, look at Mangione. Look at Mangione. But Bima, Mangione did the same thing. Mangione did the same thing. Yeah, Mangione did the same thing. He killed. No. You can't apply one thing to one person and not say it applies to another. Is it because he's black and we live in structural white racism? Is that it? Because Mangione did the same thing. Mangione killed a person in cold blood. Mangione did the same thing. Same laws got to apply to the same situation. It's the same situation. They killed him. Broad daylight. Broad daylight. The guy, Bryan Cranston or whatever his name was from United Healthcare, was like, "Don't kill me, bro. I'm not a criminal." And he's like, "Yes, you are. You're a fucking criminal and you're intimidating me and the world and all the Americans who can't get health insurance. Now I have to kill you. You're going to die." And then he killed him. And so the same rules apply, that he should be able to walk free too. Why can't he walk free? If Carmelo can walk free, why can't Mangione walk free? Explain to me. Why don't I understand your brain? Hello?
Is a completely different story. To fake his own parents to do something he thought was right. This is a completely different situation. What we're talking about is two high schoolers getting into an altercation and one getting stabbed for it. Now you're saying that the other side doesn't deserve any jail time.
Wait a second. I don't know why we continue to go back and forth. At the end of the day, he's getting a new trial, to appeal the 34 years. So that's just it. Like,
I don't think he deserves 30 years. We can agree that I don't think he deserves 30 years. Maybe because, mind you, he's a kid. Maybe you do stupid things as a kid. You do stupid things off of pure impulse. But to justify these quick impulses while you're young and dumb is what we're not gonna do.
It's not a justification. Again, you fundamentally...
Yes, you are, because you're saying he should walk scot-free for just stabbing someone in the stomach or the chest, whatever it was.
What law is, Fangs.
Okay, but the law is not... Okay, no. This is what you're... Okay, let me finish. Let me finish this because you got this very confused.
This is supposed to be
Jesus, you just listen to yourself.
No, because you're saying total stupid shit.
Because you're saying, oh, well, it's self-defense, so he should kill him. It's just self-defense, which it doesn't work that way.
Justification. We're not talking about...
That's not the right justification.
That's not... No, what I'm saying is that's not... When there's... I already explained it. I mean,
he should stab him because he was threatened and he was the aggressor. He got stabbed because he was making the aggressor.
I'm not talking about that.
But you said it. It came out your mouth.
When we're talking about law, that's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about law. When somebody, exactly. Oh God, and mute up because you don't know what you're talking about. Clearly, either respond to what I'm saying, make an argument, or
Can be
clearly you
talked
lost.
about, but not the eternal time. Names can be named, but not eternal. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameless. So we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world
Right or wrong, it is stopping at risk because we're going to create a domino effect. If I kill someone and I'm at a young age, dude, I'm out of control. Even if I'm right, psychologically, there's something wrong. I need help.
Well, see, the progressive pluralists who say that stabbing a knife into someone's chest doesn't mean that's mental health illness or breaking the law or illegal. Hello? Oh, you can make a finer point than that?
The reason why I would go to jail, even if I'm right or wrong, is because at a young age, I don't have the mental or emotional capability to process this. If I get away scot-free, It reinforces the belief that I'm powerful. I can do anything now. If anybody fucks with me, I can just stab you, whether I'm right or wrong or not. So, Bima, to say that he's innocent and just to walk away, that's lives at risk at this point.
Well,
Whether he's right or wrong or not.
I would like to make an alternative point, which is put me in the queue, Bima.
What I'm saying is he's not guilty. He's not guilty of murder. That's what I'm saying. That what they have on the books is what qualifies as murder. I'm saying that criteria has not been met. Okay? Now, if you're going to make the claim that he has that there's some sort of mental illness, then he shouldn't be in a jail. He should be getting mental health. He should be in some sort of institution for people with
Yeah,
mental
that's called high school, right? Where he should be, right?
You're now using the industrial prison.
Is there like an alternative for his high school football program? And
Potential mental illness, but hold on, but the evidence doesn't even support that. That's the problem. That's where your argument fails short, like significantly. This kid, okay, Carmelo Anthony, he had multiple jobs in the real world, multiple years. He was a responsible kid, 16 years old. He was working at Foot Locker for 2 full years in the real world with real adults, not on high school grounds, not with other high schoolers. He's going out and he's working a job and getting paid. He worked at HEB at the grocery store. Hold on. So now you're understanding that this kid has an entirely different understanding of what is and what isn't appropriate to be touching. You can't. His responsibility level was so high that that's what, if anything, he understood what and how society is supposed to act. That you just can't walk around and assault people. Unfortunately, Austin, hold on, wait, Fangs. Unfortunately, Austin Metcalf was an immature, uneducated idiot that thought that he could still, an immature, hormonal boy that is using, the guise of high school, right, high school grounds to be able to assault somebody, which if he were to do that same exact thing 100 feet off school grounds, he would have been arrested.
Bima, try to land your point, because some of us got to get to bed and get to work tomorrow. Put me in the queue. Thank you, Bima.
Wait a second. He would have been arrested, okay? So what are the other things that says, oh, wait a second, it shows that he has a great GPA. He's disciplined. He knows what discipline is. He goes home and he does his school, a great GPA. Wow, okay. What else? He was the captain of his football team elected. Hold on a second. So an entire group of his peers said,
Hello, testing mic.
Hold on. You're the best person out of all of us on this team to lead us, to guide us, for us to look to for advice and instruction and information and guidance. You're the number. Oh wait, hold on. It wasn't just one team. He was team elected captain from 2 separate teams, 2 completely different.
The AI summary says that we are debating the severity of self-defense and the justice system.
Understood what it was to act in the real world, what should and shouldn't be appropriate, and when initiation of violent aggression is being used upon you and how to defend yourself in the real world. Unfortunately, Austin Metcalf failed that test, and he fucked around and found out.
Fucked around and found out justice is not the legal system. She just summarized her rant with fuck around and find out, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't justify plunging a knife into people's chests, now does it? It doesn't, does it? Put me in the queue, Bima. I need to make an alternative point about the room and about the topic. Put me in the queue. Hello?
Take notes. Watch what D does. Watch D. He makes good arguments. He responds to what I'm saying. No. Mute up.
When you're dealing with an ignoramus, it's hard.
Hold on. Another insult. Wonderful. That's all you're good for.
Projection alert. Let's get the projection mirror out and turn on the projection activation system. It's just ad hominem projection at this point. Put me in the queue as well. I was before you, Shar. A.K.A. Rayabya.
Wake up, everybody.
Yeah, I want to make an alternative point about the topic and about the room. And it's that if you come here to get gaslit and you get angry communicating with Bima or Himothy or Beaver, the saying is, if you can make someone angry, you can make them your slave. And I just want to say that if you come here and get angry, damn, somebody got a little angry. Somebody got a little angry.
The hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and forth.